Developing now, a state grand jury has indicted Apache County Attorney Michael Whiting on a long list of criminal charges, including harassment, misusing public funds, and altering public records. The county attorney's wife, Jocelyn Whiting, is the school superintendent in Apache County, and she's also named in that indictment, accused of conflicts of interest and misusing public money. So let's take a legal deep dive into this case. Joining me right now is criminal defense attorney Kurt Altman. Kurt, would the county attorney know better?
Well, Tram, you would think so. You would think that any person would know better. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that you shouldn't do what is alleged that he has done.
Right.
So, yeah, you would hope he would know better.
Okay, but does the fact that he is a county attorney, would that hurt his case even more? Because he should have known better, right, if it is true.
Of course he should. And whether the law does or not, and in this situation the law may, he'll be held to a higher standard. He is a lawyer. He's not only a lawyer, he's a lawyer that's been elected by the taxpayers, that's in a position of trust. And because he's in a position of trust, that could be used against him later in the case. It could enhance a penalty. Let's say he could, if he were to do any jail time or prison time, it could be enhanced because he violated that trust to the taxpayers. And that's a statutory thing.
Right. Obviously, an indictment more serious than being charged. So what do you think the outcome of this case will be?
You know, it's tough to say what the outcome is. And I'll say, and as you know, he's presumed innocent until they can prove the cases. An indictment is just probable cause. A grand jury said, we believe there's more evidence than not that this happened. But it's going to be a long road ahead. I mean, he's used to being on the other side of the aisle, right? The other side of the courtroom. Now he's going to be sitting where the defendant sits, people he prosecuted. And it's always, he will learn quickly, it is an uphill battle when you're on that side.
All right, let's move on to our second big case that just came down yesterday. The Arizona Supreme Court cleared the way for voters to decide on the constitutional right to an abortion in our state. It rejected an attempt to block it from the ballot. A group opposed to abortion argued that the wording was misleading, but the court says it can be placed on the ballot. So now, if this measure is approved by voters, it would allow abortions until around 24 weeks. So, Kurt, explain exactly what happened and the court's decision and why.
Well, to get on the ballot, an initiative like this, there has to be signatures. People have to go out and gather signatures. You need so many. I think they got 577,000.
Well more than
they needed.
Yeah.
But on that petition, there's a 200-word summary of what the initiative does. And that summary has to be succinct and accurately describe what the initiative does. In this case, allows for abortions, as we talked about. The challengers said, hey, that wording in that summary was misleading. People signed the petition thinking they were signing something a little bit different than what they really were. And because it's misleading, all the petitions should be thrown out, so effectively, no signatures.
Right.
The court looked at that, evaluated the summary, and said, no, it's not misleading. We're going to allow this to stand. Therefore, the signatures are good. Therefore, it's on the ballot.
So what can voters expect come November then?
Well, I mean, it's going to be on the ballot, and they're going to go and they're going to vote on it, right? And I think often in cases like this, the initiative obviously does what it says. They wanted to amend the Constitution. They wanted to provide a right to abortion. But what it's also going to do, it's going to drive people to the polls. And often parties want to drive people to the polls. Maybe people don't want to vote or that interested in anything except that issue. And if they are, they're going to go to the polls and hopefully vote for the candidates that support that as well.
And obviously, as we know, in a battleground state like Arizona, I mean, abortion, the border, the economy, those are really driving forces for people to go to the polls. So, all right.
100%.
Yep. Kurt, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.